Radhe Radhe Nitinji, over to you.
Radhe Radhe Pallaviji, thank you. Thank you, Sunil Bhai and Madanji, for a wonderful session, like always. So, happy Janmashtami. We are on the Janmashtami Eve. And what I'm hearing is the rains god have predicted a very nice shower yesterday. So, fingers crossed on that. Won't be surprised if we have a rainfall of Janmashtami. And it is always auspicious, right? So, we're looking forward to that. A very warm welcome, good morning, good evening to all of you. We've been having this Janmashtami special series, and today is the third one of that 3-session series. And we have had some awesome performances and sessions, devotional bhajans and presentations. And these sessions have truly been special in more than one ways. Today is going to be no different. So again, a very warm welcome to all of you. Let's get started by invoking the blessings of God and Guru, and then we will start with some of the Tattva Gyan and transition into getting into the festive mode of celebrating Janmashtami. We have a wonderful celebration planned here at the temple, Dahi Handi, we have a Leela, and then we have the celebrations of Janmashtami itself. So we're going to dance away to glory that night. So if you're in or around Dallas, or even if you're not there, you can follow that action online. So do look out for that. It's going to be an exciting event. Great. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen and then we will get started with today's session. I hope all of our participants are ready. Let me share my screen and let's get started with our opening prayers. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening. Welcome again. So let's get started. We'll do a quick recap of what we have discussed for the benefit of participants who might be new or joining in for the first time. We'll do a quick recap and then pick up the newer shlokas today. We've been introducing the Tattva Gyan incrementally so that we are able to appreciate a lot of things behind our Lord Krishna, lovingly called with so many names, Kanha, Kana, right? Let's get started with a bit of a theory behind the Krishna Janma. So we've been talking about the deeper secrets behind Lord's descension or birth, and then the business segment, like I say, we are immersing in a lot of beautiful bhajans, Krishna bhajans, and his leelas as well. So let's get started. We started off with the shloka, which popularly we all can relate to when it comes to why does God take avatar. Right? That B.R. Chopra serial that we have seen, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata. It's a signature shloka or the tune for that particular serial. So Abhyuthanam Dharmasya Tadatmanam Shajamyaham, where it says decline in righteousness, increase in unrighteousness, and at that time he says, Arjun, that's when I manifest. Today on this one, I came across a clipping from Swamiji was saying, if that was the case, as soon as Krishna departed, there was Kali Yuga. What kind of unrighteousness he established? There was Kali Yuga right immediately after that. So then we started looking at the deeper secrets around God's descension. Furthermore, he goes on to say to protect the righteous, to annihilate the wicked, right? That sword fencing that she was talking about that he does, and to reestablish the principles of dharma, I appear on this earth. Now, if that was the case, then there should have been Kali Yuga, should have been Satyug, ideally, right? As soon as Lord Krishna came and left, then Dharma should have been at the peak, but it started declining right after his dissension, when he closed his pastimes, rather. So then we looked at the deeper secrets around Lord's dissension, which is established dharma, that is true. However, the real dharma that he's establishing, the real dharma, as we know, there are two kind of dharmas, paradharma and aparadharma. So he's establishing the dharma of the soul. What is the dharma of the soul? Dharma of the soul is to love God. And how do you love God? When you have a basis for devotion. And what is the basis for devotion? God's name, form, pastimes, virtues, abodes, associates. And only because he takes on a birth, avatar, then we get the benefit of all these, which is called the area of God. See, a lot of us would have experienced it, when we start leaning towards God or spirituality, some of the people, including our friends, they have an objection to it. All right, you do that, but don't go too deep. Okay, just do that 2-time puja part. Why do you have to go deep into that? So now God also says, now when you start associating with me, so when we are in world, we have an objection to our mind taking to God, right? People have an objection to that. So God says, I'll apply the same rule. Now, when you are in my area, don't bring world now. Just focus on my names, forms, pastime, virtues, abodes, have divine sentiments, and reap the benefits out of it. And how does it happen? Because he takes on avatar, and that is the real dharma establishment that he's talking about. Okay, that was the first reason. The second reason, of course, he's right when he says that to annihilate the wicked. So for that, he doesn't have to do sword fencing and all the leelas that he does. But then he comes in and liberates those saints, right? He liberates those saints who have descended to participate in his lifetime. So they, like Swamiji was saying, they are given moksha, 4 types of moksha are there. They just merge into God. So a devotee says that is a punishment. If God gives somebody moksha, which people think is the ultimate goal of life, right? That is a then, but from a devotion standpoint, devotee standpoint, moksha is a punishment. So for these people who are killed, they merge with God, so they get moksha, one of those 4 kind of mokshas. So that is the annihilate the wicked means. Obviously, these people are not ordinary wicked people. Now the Ghor Kaliyug has not come. When Ghor Kaliyug will come, you will see people who will take it to such an extreme that God will have to descend himself like Kalki avatar. So chota mota goons, God doesn't care to, he'll let it unfold, the theory of karma, right? Law of karma. But when a big one like Ram or Hiranyaksh or somebody like that comes, that's when God takes the honor of coming down and descending. And the last but not the least was protect the righteous. Yes, he does protect the righteous, and he gives an opportunity for people who have perfected their devotion to come and elevate them, like he did with so many gopis when they got their first face-to-face time with God. It is possible even Yashoda Maiya was one of the devotees who had perfected her devotion in Vatsalya Bhav and was on the tipping point of realizing God. That soul might have gotten that opportunity to play the role of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maiya. That is also possible. Or it could be an eternally liberated soul who could have played that role. So that is the real reason behind protecting the righteousness, where they are given their due. Now they're ready to go to his abode. So let me bring you along. Okay, then further we went on to speak about the 3 different manifestations of God. The Brahman, which is the formless aspect, the light, Nirakar, Nirgun, Nirvishesh aspect of God, which people say that that is the only aspect of God. It is one of the 3 aspects of God. Brahman is the formless aspect of God, where only one of his attributes is active, the other 2 are not. Sat is active, Chit and Anand are not. The Paramatma aspect, now all the attributes are active except one. There are no leelas, sweet leelas or pastimes in this aspect. That is called Paramatma, and this is the goal or the realization that yogis or Ashtang yogis seek for. This is nothing but the Tritya Purush that we spoke about, which is the Paramatma Kshirodakshay Vishnu, whose primary job function is to log our karmas. Okay. and who's permeated our soul as well. Then we spoke about Bhagavan. That is the avatar we are talking about. Bhagavan is when God actually, nothing is latent at that point. All the things are pretty evident, and he displays all his pastimes, and his nature reveals his nature in his full glory. Like Ram avatar happens, Krishna avatar happens. These avatars also have a lot of categories. We'll not get into that, right? Some of the avatars are super express avatars, like Ambar avatar. It happens. When did it happen? When Draupadi called for it. It happened and it stopped, right? Like Narsingh avatar happened. That was also an express avatar. It came out from that pillar, killed Hiranyakashyap rather, blessed Prahlad and went off. And some avatars, they come with an extended purpose, like Ram avatar happened. He ruled earth for 11,000 years. Krishna avatar happens, I don't know, when it was a few hundred years as well. So these are the avatars in which God has taken on a Bhagavan form. It is different from Brahman and Paramatma in the sense where nothing is latent. At that point, God exhibits all of its qualities. He doesn't hold back anything. Like in Brahman, it cannot grace. In Brahman, it is you. There's no pastime or sweetness around it, right? It doesn't have a form. So this is the concept of Bhagavan. So now let's move on. So are these same or different? We also looked at this analogy like water, vapor, and ice. Technically, all are H2O, but at the same time, all have different properties. And what you can do with water, you cannot do with ice. If you have to quench your thirst, you have to take water, not ice. So similarly, God also exhibits different properties in different forms that he assumes. Okay. It's just a loose analogy just to illustrate or drive home the point. Now let's look at the next, move on today. Today we are going to introduce this shloka. God says in 4.9 that he says, Janma karma cha me divyam yo veti yo divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. So what Lord Krishna is saying in this shloka is, we are not going to follow recitation, there's a content to cover. Samji, you wanted to recite it? Please go ahead quickly. Maybe one recitation we can take. We have content to cover, and then so I thought we'll just proceed with our. Go ahead if you feel like
Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
it.
Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna.
Very nice,
Thank you.
Samji. Thank you. So Lord Krishna is saying in this one that those who understand the divine nature of my birth, see, he's himself saying that. Janma karm cha me divyam, and activities. So his birth and activities both are divine. We cannot measure them from a material yardstick. Like we say, Lord Krishna did this, Lord Krishna did that. Why did he do that? He ran away from war. He was a loafer. He used to chase the gopis and stuff like that. You cannot understand his leelas. Okay. If you're going to apply material mindset to his leelas, then you will not get the benefit of his leelas, right? God's leelas. If you really want to become like Krishna, you can't selectively pick up what he has done, right? That is people who are giving excuses. And for you to pick up some of his pastimes, right? A lot of people say he used to chase around girls, so I'm going to do the same. Then you better have an ability to lift Govardhan as well. Right? It's the same Krishna who recited Bhagavad Gita as well. Then you should have an ability to show your cosmic form as well. So God's leelas are not to be dissected with material mind. And the shloka, next time somebody comes, you can remember 4.9, where Lord Krishna is saying that those who understand the divine nature of my birth and activities, O Arjun, upon leaving the body, do not have to take birth again, but come to my eternal abode. Right? It's easier said than done. That is because even we have seen God. Okay? The next question comes, have we seen God ever? Yes. We all have seen God multiple times. See, we have taken infinite births. So do you think it is not possible for us not to have seen God? Not at all. We have seen God multiple times, but our buddhi is not equipped yet to understand the divinity of his acts and leelas. Forget about God. We crucify saints also in this material world. We don't understand their activities also. So how will we understand God? Because of our imperfect senses, mind, and this buddhi, we have not become Sharanagat. We don't have that ability to see through the divinity of God. And because of which we keep on repeating. So Lord Krishna says those who can understand it, they don't have to take this birth back. For us to understand divinity, it's like a catch-22 situation. With material mind, how can you understand divinity? So that means only if you are purified enough, then will you be able to see through divinity, through his grace only. Nobody can do that through their self-effort. Right? It's only through God's grace can one know God. Our scriptures say nobody can know God. And then our scriptures also say only when you know God will you realize him. So it's a catch-22 situation. What do? We can't know God. Scriptures say, and then he says, only if you know God will you be able to realize him. So it happens through his own grace. So we have to continue working on ourselves and then hope to draw his grace until we can actually see him in his full glory, all the divinity around him. So his activities, they are divine. And there is a difference between humans and God. Let's look at a quick difference on both the sides. Our actions and the actions of God. Okay, let's draw a parallel between these two. So our actions, we are materially bound, Mayadheen. We have not yet attained divine bliss, and hence longing for our soul is not yet satiated. That is the first thing to begin with. The second thing is our actions are motivated by self-interest and the desire for personal fulfillment because we have not satiated. That's a very simple logic for that. It's all motivated with self-interest. Nobody can say that my action is not motivated with self-interest. It is motivated. Yes, you have self-interest. You can start refining that, make it more nuanced and more aligned to God's will. Then that is a different thing. But everything will be motivated by self-interest only. You can pick up better interest than the low-level interest. That is the progression in the path of spirituality. And while the actions we perform are called work, the God when he performs the acts, they are called leelas. So other part is God's actions, they don't have personal motive. Even God and saints, they have achieved what they were supposed to achieve, right? They are already in Anand, eternal bliss. They have no motivation other than helping people out. Our motivation is self-interest. Their motivation is interest of people. Okay, the kripa is the only thing they can do. They have no motive left to fulfill actually. Right. So that is the basic difference between this. And then because they have nothing to there, then whatever is done, obviously even saints have a motive. God has a motive. No action is performed without a prayojan or a motive. The motive varies. In case of Maya Dheen people like us, conditioned souls, the motive is our own self-interest. Fulfill our own self-interest. The motive for saints and God is to fulfill the interest of others, show them the path. The second aspect is our work is called work. When we are doing working. Do we say, office, how's your office work going? Does anybody say, how's your office Leela going? No, right. It is the work. What we do is work. They call work-life balance. They don't say Leela life balance. So our job that we do is called work, and what God does is called Leela. We can't say God's work. What God is doing is a Leela. It's called a pastime. When we become Ram, that is called a Leela. Ram Leela, it's said, right? We don't become Ram. Do we become Ram? Like people in India, they treat them as God. There was an incident that this guy, Ram and Lakshman, they were so popular. That serial was so popular. And I think in one of the shoots, they were shooting in a village. And this guy, Lakshman, he lit up a cigarette somewhere, okay, hiding somewhere, he lit up a cigarette. And people came and started beating him up. You are Lakshman. How can you smoke a cigarette, So the point here is he doesn't become Lakshman just because he's playing the Leela. Similarly, when God plays a Nar avatar, he does not become a Nar. A lot of people say it is a Manushi Chola. Okay, Krishna has worn a Manushi Chola. This word you will come across a lot in a lot of philosophies. Manushi Chola, Ram had worn a, how can he be this and that? No, he's still God. Sati has actually given a Leela to us to tell us that, look, humans, don't put your Kintu Parantu Buddhi with God's Leelas. God is God. So when Shiv, once Sati had her buddhi did not cooperate with her. She said, okay, it cannot be God. This kind of a person, even in this material world, even Leila Majnu will not cry like how Ram is doing. He's wailing and asking Lata, Shakhas, trees, everybody, where is Sita? Where is Sita? He was wailing like a baby. So she went on to test him in the form of Sita. And the moment he saw him, he said, Mother, what are you doing here? Because he considers Shiv as his spiritual father. And by the way, Shiv considers Ram as a spiritual father. So they are mutual admiration club. Okay. It's not like one is higher, the other is lower. So the moment he says mother, Sati was like, oh my God, what happened? Then he went back to Shiv and Shiv said, because you took on the form of my mother, I'll have to reject you as a wife. But then in the next avatar, after that Sati, all that stuff happened. She burnt herself and then took on avatar like Himalaya's daughter and they got married. Again, she posed that question to Shiv and Shiv said, you did not have a doubt even then, and even now you don't have. It's only for the benefit of people you enacted that Leela. Okay, so it's not like Parvati became ignorant all of a sudden. So the point is, don't put your brain in Krishna Leela or Ram Leela. That is called Leelas. That's just a pastime. So if you pick up Bhagavatam and start going through chapter 10th and say, oh, what kind of a God he was, right? Cannot be like that. Don't do that. Just get the fundamentals right first, and it will, in due course of time, everything will make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, pick up thing that makes sense. Just leave it, suspend your judgment around it. But don't do the mistake of considering it as a human, just like another human. Right? A lot of people say they are not God. They were Yug Purush, Mahapurush kind of people who just came and people revere them as this and that. It's not the case. He's God actually. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself is telling that. So these are the differences. Furthermore, can we have time? The other one that Lord Krishna is using very strong word is, I like this shloka. It's one of my favorite ones. It's easy one to remember, 9/11. It's not a good date to remember what happened here in US, but from a shloka standpoint, it's that reference, you can remember the shloka. It's an interesting one because Lord Krishna is saying, Avajananti mamudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam jananto mam bhuta maheshwaram. He's saying, when I descend in my personal form, deluded persons are unable to recognize me. They do not know the divinity of my personality as the supreme Lord of all beings. It happened in Ram Avatar also, right? When he was in the Swayamvar, right? They say, right? Prabhu Murat dekhi वैसी जैसी जाको रही भावना जैसी प्रभु मूरत ने देखी वैसी. So different people were having different perception of Ram when they were seeing. Some were motherly affection. They were saying, oh, how delicate this kid is. How is he going to lift that big bow of Lord Shiva? And then to demons, he was looking like a death personified with so many heads and all. So different people were having different, view of Lord Ram. Same thing happened when Lord Krishna, I think as a 12-year or 14-year-old, he was fighting Chanur and those wrestlers of Kans. People were seeing him differently. Some people were finding him a tender young boy, some a very attractive young man, and some were saying little baby, and some were saying death personified, that hard like a thunderbolt. When he shook hand, the wrestler, he was like, I've never shaken hand with somebody as strong as this kind of, although it was a delicate boy. So that is the whole idea. When you look at it, even though it was a human form, but he's still God. God is God. And he's saying that people with dim intellect, they consider him human, even in that. And we are one of those dim intellect people who have seen God. And we have thought about him. I don't know how. We might have thought about him as a competent person, competent guy, but not as God. And we have seen God multiple times. Maharaj Ji say we all have met God, but we were not competent enough to understand it. And sometimes God uses strong words like he has used in this one. Good teachers use that as well, right? He uses the word mood, which means dim-witted. to describe those who deny the divinity of his personal form. And personal form, anyway, I will not get too deep into this topic. This is anyway, both personal and impersonal form, both are attributes of God, aspects of God. It's not like God is only this, only that. So Maharajji beautifully reconciled it when people would say he, Bhagwan Keval Nirgun He Hai. And then some would say Bhagwan Keval Sagun He Hai. He said just replace he with bhi. Not only this, but also that, and it resolves everything. It is all encompassing, it is not limiting, right? And it completes the definition of God. You can't limit God, that he can only be this or only be that, right? That exclusion cannot come. If we can have a form, what prevents God from having a form? He has a personal form. In fact, it is said Brahmaji, when he casted us, we casted us in a reflection of God only. We are a poor reflection of God only, actually, if you think about it. And then he presented that present to Brahmaji, to God, that see, I have created somebody. So God said, give him 2 stomachs, otherwise this guy will go crazy. So what are the 2 stomachs he gave? One is the stomach, obviously, that we feed. And the other stomach he gave was this: no matter what you feed, it is always hungry. It's always generating thought. It needs more and more and more of that. So anyways, so this is quick stuff on what we wanted to discuss as part of this. Today's SMX, I picked up very interesting thing from Swamiji. I mean, we know that, but still don't know it. And he always brings in something that you think, okay, this is something new to think about, ponder upon, and maybe talk about as well. So what he said was, let's look at it. Okay, no, let's look at the form of God. So what different scriptures say when I get into that. Now, Gopal Tapani Upanishads talks about Lord as wearing a garland of forest flowers, who plays his flute enchantingly. This is from Upanishads directly. Okay, people who says Krishna was a human. Okay, then you have this Bhagavatam. He says at that time Supreme Lord, who possesses all opulences, descended in a human-like form. What scriptures are talking about it? Then Bhagavatam further says, "O Lord, your body is not made of Panch Mahabhut." Even though he looks like human, he's not made up of 5 elements. His body is made up of, basically, he makes up his body. He said still Satchitanand body. And he makes that body through his own free will. Furthermore, more scriptural references around it, where Rig Ved Sukt says that I had the vision of God as a boy who's never annihilated, and he appeared in a family of cowherds. There is so many references of Lord Krishna when he descended as a god in so many scriptures. Then, furthermore, if you look at it in Bhagavatam, the deepest knowledge is that God accepts a human-like form. Bhagavatam says that. And last but not the least, the Brahma Samhita says that Brahma prays to Shri Krishna. Brahma is the biggest devotee. He's praised to Lord Krishna, whose form is eternal, all-knowing and blissful. He is without beginning and end and is the cause of all causes. Basically, it's just establishing Lord Krishna as a god. So many scriptures are talking about his avatar as the Param Purush or the Purushottam. Now, like I said, divine love is the topmost thing. Now, if you realize God realization comes second to that. That was an interesting thing he told. So divine love is even higher than that. It's just like you want to meet somebody, he comes in front of you. Now, what do you do with that? Unless you have his love. Same thing. Divine love goes even beyond God realization, because God realization is just coming in contact with God. It could be through one of the mokshas, and then these are all spiritual categories. And then furthermore, after below that comes these dharma, karma, etc., duty and all that stuff that we talk about. We should do good karma, we should do good dharma, all that is material. This is the categorization. Only when you get into the spiritual thing, then we are talking, and divine love is the topmost prize of God. So God gives darshan. Devotee says, all right, that is good, but I need your divine love. You give divine love, you are anyway enslaved. I can get your darshan on demand at that point. Darshan, DOD, darshan on demand. So he said, darshan is fine, but I need your divine love. And that is the sentiment a devotee harbors. And what enables a devotee to harbor those sentiments? Because he has a basis for devotion. He knows that God, my God, can be enslaved through love. And how does he know that? Because he has taken on an avatar as a Bhagavan. and displayed his pastimes. Right? It's only because of that we are celebrating Janmashtami today. And if God had just remained as a Brahman, then it would have been so boring. Like Gopi said, what do I do with your God with whom I can't interact with, play with? What do I do with that kind of a God? So if he had remained Brahman or Paramatma, that silent person who's noting down our karmas, then we would have been bereft of his pastimes, sweetness, and all the things that we can do with just because of the fact that he descended as Bhagavan in that most beautiful enchanting form as Lord Krishna. And it is not an ordinary birth. Right? I spoke about this concept yesterday that he doesn't take birth like hanging upside down for 9 months. He actually came in as a 6 feet form with 4-arm form. Devaki said, I feel like saying Vishnu Sahasranama looking at you, right? So can you please? And then he took on a form of a small baby in front of him. So that is how God comes in. But through his Yogamaya power, he gives the experience to the mother as a material mother would get. The same experience of having a womb and then delivering a baby kind of a thing. But his birth and his activities are both divine, like he has clearly stated in 4.9. Janma karma chame divyam. All right, now we are towards the business end of our presentation. Any quick questions anybody has before we move to our let's go, and it is the show time, something like that? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay, any questions before that on what we have discussed as part of our Janmashtami special sessions? Hopefully the concept of God, why he takes birth, right? All those concepts are a little more clear to all of us now. So yes, Keshavji, you want
Yeah.
to narrate a bhajan today?
Yeah, Radhe Radhe, Keshav ji. Happy Janmashtami to all of you.
Janmashtami once again to all of you.
Yes.
My concern is, I mean, like, God is aware, वो व्यक्त होते हैं, दिखते हैं, takes form like that. I hear million times. But in one of the shlokas, Purushottam Krishna said, "Avyaktam bhaktim apnam mannate man abhyudhya param bhavam ajananto mamame anuttam." I think, please explain this shloka in detail.
Okay, so we'll get into which one, the Manushim Tanum Ashratam you're talking about, Keshavji?
व्यक्तम व्यक्तिम आपनम मन्नते माम अबुद्ध्या परम भाव अजानंतो ममामयम अनुत्तमम.
Yeah, we'll get to that shloka.
Because that shloka clearly says, I don't take forms, I don't take rebirths, I take birth only once, which is he took in this Mahabharata time. Not before that, not later.
No, I can pick up that shloka and we'll go into that. See, what I'm telling is not my interpretation. It is coming from scriptures and saints.
I understand that. I understand that.
So,
Thanks for that. Not
yeah.
your not personal to anybody.
So we can get into that shloka as well. We'll not hijack today's session to get into the depth of that, but I'll pick up that shloka and we can have a detailed discussion around that. However, having said that, God does take avatar. It's very nicely explained in our scriptures, and he takes avatar from time to time. In Treta, he's
As far, I would like to mention and elaborate my question, like for Bhagavan Rama, Purushottam Ram, he said, Shastrayan Rama Aham, Shastra Dhari Ram Meham. He did not elaborate Purushottam Rama and so on and so forth.
Okay, we will get into
Krishna is saying, because Krishna is saying.
Sure. We'll get into what your specific questions are. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes when we pick up stuff selectively, it can be very confounding and confusing. And that is where we need a scriptural master Shrotri and Brahmanist guru who can reconcile it for us. Our mind can otherwise interpret it very selectively and can confuse us much more around it. But we can definitely discuss some of the things that you brought up so that it brings to light for the benefit of everyone. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Keshav ji.
Surendraji, so the way we will plan it is, we will first start with the registered participants, and then we'll pick up the impromptu ones. The ones who have already registered and prepared for it, they should get the first preference.
So, Radhe Radhe, everyone. Everyone is very excited for this. Again, yet another blissful, mesmerizing Janmashtami celebrations. So today we have assigned devotees Sumesh ji, Sam ji, Swati ji. Please raise your hand so that I can, Priyanka ji, Padma ji, and myself.
Wonderful. Great. I can tee it off if you want me to.
So,
Okay, who's going to start then today?
yes, let's start with Padma ji, then I can go next. Yeah. Radhe Radhe Padma ji,
Padmaji.
please go ahead. All floor is yours.
Thank you. Krishna's blessing and Swamiji's. Can I share the screen?
Yes, you
Let me make you
stop here. Please go ahead. It's all yours now.
So it is disabled. So I will wait.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can make you co-host.
Yeah.
Let me make
Shyamji, you're looking at dapper today. You dressed up really for the occasion. Looks like you're getting into your birthday mood today. Okay, let's start it, Padmaji.
Yeah. So can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to do the first prayer because Nitinji has done. I'll just take the next one, and I just have few slides, just a small story of Krishna and just a bhajan. So, Kaena vacha manasendriye va buddhyatmana va prakrute svabhava karomi yatya sakalam parasmai narayanaiti samarpayami Narayanaeti samarpayami. Whatever I do with the body, speech, mind, or the sense organs, either by discrimination of the intellect, or by the deeper feelings of the heart, or by the existing tendencies of the mind, I do them all. Whatever work is to be done without ownership, I surrender them at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. So this story is around in Telugu, we call it Narakasura death, right? So Narakasura is a demon. Actually, he's actually the son of Mother Earth. Without going into that background, but I'll just talk about like this particular Leela. Lord Krishna and Satyabhama. Satyabhama is the dearest and most dearest wife of Sri Krishna. So the context is they return after defeating Narakasura, who is a demon, and the entire Dwaraka gives them a warm welcome. Satyabhama is a very beautiful, proud, self-respected, egoistical, possessive lady, and she conceits herself that she is the main reason for Sri Krishna's victory. So the story goes that the war or the fight has gone for many days, and eventually Sri Krishna kind of fades. Again, it's his Leela, and Satyabhama takes over, mother takes over, and she kills the demon. The name of the demon is Narakasura. And after the killing Narakasura realizes that it's actually, the mother realizes that it's actually her son, Mother Earth's son, and he'll ask for moksha, and she blesses him with the moksha. But Satyabhama, being the very closest to Sri Krishna and being very beautiful and stuff, she's very possessive about Sri Krishna, that always Sri Krishna has to spend most of the time with her compared to all other wives that Sri Krishna has. So sage Narada brings in Parijata flower. So there are special flowers which are called Parijata, and I'm pretty sure many of us know this. In India, it's very locally found. So sage Narada brings Parijata flower from the heavens, and he gives it to Sri Krishna, and then he asks him to present it to his best wife. Okay. Without any doubt, Sri Krishna actually presents it to Rukmini, but not Satyabhama. Okay, so here, after Sri Krishna presents the flower to Ma Rukmini, he praises Ma Rukmini. So Satyabhama, she gets very jealous that she was not praised, and then having the liberty with Sri Krishna, she gets upset. So knowing this, Satyabhama becomes very furious and she shows her annoyance towards Krishna. Therefore, he promises Satyabhama that he has just given a flower. He just gave a flower to Rukmini. So he promises Satyabhama that he will actually go to Indra and he will get the whole tree with the roots. So he would go and he would conquer Indra from the heavens with the roots. So he brings the whole plant and then he gives it to Satyabhama. So again, this is Sri Krishna's Leela, right? So Lord Krishna reaches heavens along with Satyabhama, confronts with Lord Indra, acquires the Parijata tree and gives it to Satyabhama. So now comes Ma Rukmini's birthday. So Ma Rukmini, on her birthday, she invites Sri Krishna and Satyabhama to take her hospitality. But Satyabhama doesn't allow Krishna, but and she yields Krishna not to go, but Sri Krishna, he will go and attend to Rukmini Devi, and her devotion and goes along with her. So now Satyabhama gets upset that even though she didn't want this, Krishna has actually gone and visited Ma Rukmini on her birthday. So she gets depressed about her defeat and she wants to achieve Krishna's love totally for herself, just for herself. So now, Narada Mahamuni, being who he is, he plays a trick to teach her a lesson. So he actually proposes that she does some vrata, where she has to actually offer Krishna to somebody, and then in return, she has to buy him back. Okay, so now Satyabhama becomes very depressed about her defeat, and she wants to achieve Krishna's love totally for herself. The main concept of the ritual that Narad Mahamuni gives Satyabhama is that Satyabhama must donate her husband, Sri Krishna, along with Parijata tree, and she can get him back by repaying the god with gold. Okay, as much as Sri Krishna weighs, she has to give that much of gold. Arrogant Satyabhama feels that she can easily weigh her husband with her wealth. So without any hesitation, she donates Sri Krishna to sage Narada. She actually donates it to sage Narada. But the situation becomes reversed where the Satyabhama is unable to outweigh Sri Krishna, even after using her entire wealth and wealth from the whole nation, right? All from everybody. So she cannot weigh Sri Krishna. Sage Narada explains that Lord, he will yield only for devotion. He will not yield for anything else but love and devotion from the devotee. Sage Narada also says that there is only one person in this universe who can weigh Lord Krishna, that is none other than Rukmini Devi. Because her love for Sri Krishna is completely out of devotion, but not selfish devotion. Finally, Ma Rukmini weighs Sri Krishna with one Tulsi Dalam, that means one leaf of the Tulsi plant, and gets him back. So that is, Tulsi has a relevance, and also through her bhakti and devotion, she just places one Tulsi leaf and she gets Krishna back. So why Tulsi? Sri Krishna loves Tulsi plant. It is an offering of devotion. And also it is said that Tulsi plant is actually a gateway to Vaikunta, or abode of Sri Mahavishnu, and also it has medicine value. So obviously the bhakti marg, or the devotion or the love for God, it's not comparable to anything else. Is the moral or the bigger picture of the story. So I'll just do my song. So this is Annamacharya Kirtana. Let's see. I'll just very quickly read out the meaning, because I know this is in Telugu, but it's a very beautiful translation. So it's
how much time do we have? Because we have other participants as well.
So I was just about to say, so probably you could go again towards the end. We will be giving like 5 minutes per participant to begin with, especially for the registered participants. And then once they are all covered,
then back to bhajan, so that we cover everybody who have.
Yes, sounds good.
We can.
I'll stop sharing. So we'll do the budget later.
Yeah, thank you. It was a beautiful Leela, right? Tulsi mother, and I have heard about it, but yeah, very, very, very well narrated, Padmaji. Loved that one. Lord Krishna has like so many Leelas. you can only marvel, once you start going through those. So thank you so much for bringing that to life to all the participants. Let's move on to our next participant, the registered one right now.
So thank you, Padmaji. Now next, Samji can go. Samji, Radhe
Yes,
Radhe.
Samji, time for us to comment, live commentary. Start putting in live comment.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Are you, where am I? Okay, where am I? Can you see
We
me?
can hear you.
We can
Okay.
hear
Yes.
Radhe Radhe everyone. Today I'm going to present a Krishna Leela from Sri Krishna Karnamritam by Leela Shukla. So it goes like this. Once a gopi was thinking, it's been long since Krishna has been stealing in everyone's house, but no one is able to catch him. And Mother Yashoda was not believing anyone whenever they are complaining. She was saying, my Lalla will not do such mischief things. Only you people are intentionally complaining on him. So this gopi made a strong resolve that she definitely has to catch Krishna this time, and that too red-handedly. Her idea was that she wants to catch Krishna when he actually eats butter, so that there will be a proof on his mouth. Otherwise, if she catches him with just a butter hand, he may come up with some argument and could outsmart everyone and try to escape. So she came up with a grand plan. What she did was, she purposefully took a butter pot and put it at the entrance of the door, like just inside the door sill. She hid behind the door and started waiting for Krishna to come. After some time, Krishna came along with his friends, like this. The gopi could recognize him from his signature anklet bell ringing. From Krishna's point of view, there was no one present. He saw the butter pot at the entrance and felt excited. At the beginning, he was little suspicious. So he peeped inside the house and looked around, but he couldn't find anyone. He felt really excited. He thought that, yeah, today is going to be my day. So he took out the butter and started distributing it to his friends, like this. Each one of his friends are coming one by one. They are taking the butter, eating, and are leaving as if they have come to a buffet meal or something. After everyone's turn is over, now it's Krishna's turn to eat. So he took the butter and put it in his mouth. Immediately, the gopi came from behind the door and caught his hand, like this. Usually kids will be scared when they are caught doing something mischief. But Krishna was not scared at all. He casually looked at Gopi like this. And actually Gopi was surprised. What? There is not even a sign of a trace of fear on his face. He's looking totally fearless. Okay. So she started asking him, Kastvam Bala, who are you, child? Actually, she was putting on an act as if she was interrogating him. She caught him red-handedly. So trying to act. Actually, both of them knew each other. And Krishna replied, Balanujaha, I'm the brother of Balram. Why did he bring Balram into picture? Did Balram come? Did he steal and eat anything? Or did he do anything mischief? He hadn't done any of those things. But still, Krishna involved him. Why? That's because the more people you involve, the less punishment you will get. So now Gopi asked, Kimihate, what are you doing here? Immediately, Krishna started looking around and said, oh, is this not my house? Manmandira Shankaya. I thought this is my house, implying that he had gone there, mistaking that to be his house. Now the Gopi is getting more surprised. She was thinking, oh, you really don't know whose house this is? So she asked, Yuktam tat navanita patra vivare hastam kimadham yaseha. Okay, you came here by mistake. Then why did you place your hand inside the butter pot? Immediately Krishna said, Mata kanchana vatsakam mruga itum maga vishadam shanat iti evam vara vallavi prativacha Krishnasya pushnatunaha. Like immediately Krishna, very angrily, he was saying, hey, why are you shouting like that I'm placing my hand in the butt pot and as if I'm stealing all your wealth and property? Actually, one of our calves was missing. I have been searching for it. I thought it might have entered into this pot. That's why I placed my hand inside and I'm searching for it. Shh, stay calm. Don't talk loud. Otherwise the calf will run away. Hearing this reply, the gopi was totally stunned. She was thinking, what? Was your calf missing and you're searching for that inside this butter pot? And furthermore, it will run away if I talk loud. Like, she got so stunned that in her astonishment, she involuntarily loosened her grip. That's it. Krishna ran away. To that witty Krishna, who could outsmart even this cowherd gopi, who came up with a well-planned strategy to catch him red-handedly, but still was defeated by his witty replies. To that Krishna, I offer my humble obeisances, and let that witty Krishna always protect us, and his witty replies invigorate us always. Thank you, Radhe Radhe. Finally, he outsmarted like this to Gopi. He was teasing Gopi. I defeated you.
Wonderful, Samji. You are an outstanding storyteller. That's a new talent we have discovered. See, you give witty comments throughout, right? And then you have another. Sometimes you show up as a bunny, but this was some talent for sure. I don't know how much you prepared for it, but
Yes,
it was some story. You did prepare for it. Looks like, right? And some of the
yes.
stuff that you put in between was pretty awesome. So, it takes a lot of talent to be able to narrate a story in such a captivating manner that you did. So, kudos.
Thank you.
Loved it. And Krishna would have loved it as well. You did full justice to his mischievous act. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
a
much.
lot of applause pouring in for you, Samji. You can see that. So next in turn is me.
Pallavi.
So I will go next. And thank you for this opportunity. And thank you for this. I will be able, I plan to sing Yashoda Maiya and Kanhaiya. Let's listen a beautiful bhajan.
Sure.
Let's go to Braj Bhumi, where Maiya and Kanhaiya, they are doing all the naughty stuff. And then Yashoda Maiya sings, बड़ा नटखट है रे कृष्ण कन्हैया का करे यशोदा मैया हो बड़ा नटखट है रे कृष्ण कन्हैया का करे यशोदा मैया ढूंढेरी अखिया उसे चाहूं जाने कहाँ छुप गया नंद किशोर ढूंढेरी अखिया उसे चाहूं जाने कहाँ छुप गया नंद किशोर उड़ गया ऐसे जैसे पुरवैया का करे यशोदा मैया मैया रे हाँ बड़ा नटखट है रे कृष्ण कन्हैया का करे यशोदा मैया का करे यशोदा मैया
You were amazing. See, If you close your eyes, I'm sure people can do that. You reminded us of late Lata Mangeshkar, okay? She has sung it so beautifully, and it is one of my favorite bhajans. You can simply play, and amazing, mesmerizing to say the least, with a lot of bhav. So very nice,
Thank you for your kind words.
very nice.
Blessing.
Loved it.
I have one kirtan, but I'll sing it in the last.
Sure, sure. We are just warming up. I can see that. So, but very nice rendition. Loved it. Very
Thank you.
soulful.
Thank you,
Very
all of you.
melodic.
Thank you for this opportunity, Nitinji.
Loved it. Our pleasure.
Next, Swati ji will go.
Yes, Swati ji.
Radhe Radhe, Swati ji, please go.
Is it audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll sing two small bhajans. One is mixed and one is like, I'll not take more the time. Okay. Radhe Radhe to everyone. गोकुल की गलियन में कान्हो ग्वाल बाल संग आयो, नन्नो सोयो नंदलालो सो सबके मन को भायो। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल। आगे आगे गैया पीछे पीछे ग्वाल, बीच में मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटा सा मेरो मदन गोपाल। काली काली गैया गोरे गोरे ग्वाल, श्याम वर्ण मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटे छोटे लखोटी छोटे छोटे हाथ, बंसी बजाए मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गोपिया मधुबन बाप, रास रचावे मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल। घास खाए गैया दूध पिए ग्वाल, माखन खायो मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल। गोविंद मेरो है गोपाल मेरो है, गोविंद मेरो है गोपाल मेरो है। श्री बाके बिहारी नंदलाल मेरो है, श्री बाके बिहारी नंदलाल मेरो है। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद रे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद रे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। राधे कृष्ण 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 राधे राधे। राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम श्यामा राधे राधे। राधे कृष्ण 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 राधे राधे। राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम श्यामा राधे राधे। I dedicate this bhajan to my Hari and Guru. Because of your grace and blessing, I am here in this beautiful daily wisdom of Bhagavad Gita family. Thank you to everybody for listening me and giving me this opportunity. Radhe Radhe.
Wonderful. Thank you, Swati ji, for giving us a bhajan parody today. Okay, it was a lot of bhajans in one. So beautiful, and what a great way to get started or warm up to Janmashtami with so many beautiful parody renditions. So thank you again for that, Swati ji. Wonderful. Who's the next one then?
Yeah, thank you, Swati ji. A lot of applause pouring in for you. Next is Sumesh ji. Thank you. Radhe Radhe, Sumesh ji. Please go ahead.
Sumesh ji.
Radhe Radhe, Nitin ji, Radhe Radhe, everyone. I will sing one bhajan for Sri Krishna. कोई कहियो रे प्रभु आवन को, कोई कहियो आप न आए, लिख नहीं भेजे आप न आए, लिख नहीं भेजे, बान परी ललचावन को, बान परी ललचावन को, ये दो नैना कहु नहीं माने, ये दो नैना कहु नहीं माने, नदियां बहे जैसे सावन की, नदियां बहे जैसे सावन की, कोई कहियो रे प्रभु आवन की, कोई कहियो प्रभु आवन की, मन भावन की, प्रभु आवन की, मन भावन की, कोई कहियो काह करूं कछु नहीं बस मेरो, काह करूं कछु नहीं बस मेरो, पंख नहीं उड़ जावन को, पंख नहीं उड़ जावन को, मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर, मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर, चेरी भई मैं तेरे दामन की, चेरी भई मैं तेरे दामन की, कोई कहियो रे प्रभु आवन की, कोई कहियो प्रभु आवन की, मन भावन की, प्रभु आवन की, मन भावन की, कोई कहियो। राधे राधे। Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sumesh. It was like coming in directly from your soul. Seems like, looks like you sing it often. Very nice, very soul stirring kind of a rendition. So thank you so much. Pleasure to have you, and thank you again for reciting it for us. धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत आपका.
धन्यवाद।
Okay, I think Asha ji wanted to sing as well. Do we have her as one of the registered participants? And also let's cover Pragya ji wanted to sing as well. So
Yes.
let's go through.
Thank you, Sumesh ji. Very heartfelt rendition. Lot of applause coming in for you. Pragya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead. Floor is all
Radhe
yours.
Radhe, Radhe Radhe, everyone. Yeah, the bar is so high. It's okay. It is in Madhuri Ras. It's not in Krishna's Bali Ras. That is what is something very dear to him. मेरे संग डोले, आई रे मेरा श्याम मेरे संग डोले, संग डोले, संग डोले, माई रे कान्हा मेरे संग डोले, ऐसी बसुरिया मधुर बजावे, ऐसी मुरलिया मधुर बजावे नाचे।
Your audio is not cooperating, Pragya ji. We lost
Oh,
your.
really?
We can't afford to miss this bhajan. That's why you're breaking in between your audio.
Sorry. Okay, I'll log in from phone, maybe laptop.
आपका भजन इतना अच्छा है कि we can't afford to miss any part of it. You need to fix that very quickly.
I'll just log in from phone.
No worries. Asha
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Maybe some other participant can.
Yeah, meanwhile, yeah, we can definitely take Asha ji. Radhe Radhe, Asha ji.
Asha ji.
Asha ji, Radhe Radhe. Please go ahead.
राधे
Happy Janmashtami आपको.
हैप्पी जन्माष्टमी आप सभी को मेरा सादर नमस्कार। मैं जो आज भजन प्रस्तुत करने जा रही हूँ वो ओरिजिनल मीराबाई का है, मगर हमारे कवि शैलेंद्र जी ने उसमें अपने लाजवाब शब्दों से उसका श्रृंगार किया है। तो ये क्लासिक सॉन्ग मुझे बहुत प्रिय है, प्रस्तुत करती हूँ। तेरी मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी मेरो। Some disturbance is there.
Yes, I'm muted. Please go ahead, Asha ji.
Okay. तेरी मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी मेरो, दर्द न जाने को। तेरी मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी मेरो, दर्द न जाने को। घायल की गत घायल जाने और न जाने कोई। तेरी मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी मेरो, दर्द न जाने कोई। ना मैं जानू आरती वंदन, ना पूजा की रीत है अनजानी दरस दीवानी मेरी पागल प्रीत। लिए रे मैंने दो नैनों के दीपक लिए संजोए। तेरी मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी मेरो, दर्द न जाने को। आशा के फूलों की माला सांसों के संगी। आशा के फूलों की माला सांसों के संगी। इन पर फूली चले रिझाने अपने मन का मीत। लिए रे मैंने नैन डोर में सपने लिए संजो। तेरी मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी मेरो, दर्द न जाने को, मेरे मन की पीर मिटे जब, मेरे मन की पीर मिटे जब, वैद सांवरिया हो तेरी मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी मेरो, दर्द न जाने को, घायल की गत घायल जाने और न जाने को, तेरी मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी मेरो, दर्द न जाने को। थैंक यू सो मच।
धन्यवाद आशा जी, आपका सुर, ताल, शब्द, भाव सब ऐसे थे जैसे एक माला में मोती पिरो दिए गए हों। बहुत ही बढ़िया,
थैंक यू सो मच।
बहुत अच्छा। आप ऐसा लगता है कि ट्रेंड सिंगर रह चुके हैं शायद पहले। बहुत अच्छा
नहीं,
गा
ऐसा कुछ ट्रेनिंग ली थी बहुत पहले, मगर शौक है तो ये ईश्वर हरि गुरु की कृपा है और आप सबका स्नेह है। बहुत ही शुक्रिया।
बहुत ही अच्छा, और इस बहाने हम आपको देख पाए, आपका
बिल्कुल।
साक्षात्कार कर पाए।
नहीं,
जन्माष्टमी के इस पावन उपलक्ष्य, इस मौके अवसर पर, ये हमारी बहुत अच्छी किस्मत है। धन्यवाद। We will love to hear more from you, and it's always a pleasure. So many people are sending hearts your way for the beautiful rendition that you did. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू सो मच।
या बहुत बहुत सारी तारीफें आशा जी आपके लिए, और आप बिल्कुल एक दूसरे वर्ल्ड में लेके चली गई। आपकी आवाज ऐसा लगा जैसे कोई डिवाइन वर्ल्ड में हम लोग चले गए। ब्यूटीफुल। थैंक यू आशा जी। प्रज्ञा जी, थैंक यू फॉर वेटिंग। लेट्स गो अहेड।
Okay, let me know once again if the Wi-Fi is interrupted. आई रे मैं श्याम मेरे संग डोले, माई रे मेरे संग डोले, संग डोले, संग डोले, माई रे मेरा कान्हा मेरे संग डोले, ऐसी बसुरिया मधुर बजावे, ऐसी मुरलिया मधुर बजावे, नाचे हाल हाल मेरी संग डोले, अखियों से अखियाँ वो मिलावे, अखियों से अखियाँ वो मिलावे, नैनों से नैना वो लड़ावे, बोले माई मेरा पीठ मेरे संग डोले, बार बार मोही गरबा लगावे, बार बार मोही गरबा लगावे, बिजुरिया डोले, आई मेरे संग डोले, श्याम सखी मैं तो बावरी, श्याम सखी मैं तो बावरी मेरो तन मन डोले मायरी मैं तेरे संग डोले मायरी श्याम मेरे संग डोले मायरी में हाँ मेरे संग डोले। क्यों राधे राधे।
Thank you, Pragya Di. We could actually see your tan and man dolte with Krishna, right? The way you're singing. There were a few interruptions in between, but very nice. I think you were already in that bhav. We could vicariously see you dancing with Krishna as well, right? The way you
Wishful thinking.
swaying from side to side. Very nice, beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Loved it. I can see so many people are. Thank you for giving us this devotion, and making us vicariously dance with Krishna. Beautiful song. Wonderful. All right. I can see so many hands.
Yes.
And Payalji is back as well. So let's see who is the next. Our co-host can call out their names. And
Yes. Thank you, Pragya ji. Very blissful bhajan. Lot of applauds, lot of wishes pouring in for you. Thank you so much. Next is Sandhya ji. Radhe Radhe Sandhya ji.
yes,
Go ahead.
Sandhya,
Me?
the moment of truth has come now. Go ahead.
Oh, I was thinking I'll go a little later. Okay, just a minute. I'll put this up. So the bhajan that I'm going to sing, it's written by Maharaj Ji, and it is describing the beauty of Sri Krishna. So I'll just share my screen so that you all can sing along with me. It will be up on the screen. Can you see this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So this is, let's get started. मतवारी प्यारी चांद मेरो यशोदा कुलाल मतवारी प्यारी चांद मेरो यशोदा कुलाल 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 मतवारी प्यारी चांद मेरो यशोदा कुलाल जाके लोचन रसाल मेरो यशोदा कुलाल जाके नीले नीले गाल मेरो यशोदा कुलाल मतवारी प्यारी चांद मेरो यशोदा कुलाल जाके घूंघरवारी बाल मेरो यशोदा कुलाल जाके होठ लाल लाल मेरो यशोदा कुलाल मतवारी प्यारी चांद मेरो यशोदा कुलाल जाके टेढ़ी मेढ़ी चांद मेरो यशोदा कुलाल मेरो साचो यार गोपाल मेरो यशोदा कुलाल मतवारी प्यारी चाल मेरो यशोदा को लाल। मेरो मदन गोपाल मेरो जीवन गोपाल। वो तो कारण बिनु ही कृपाल मेरो यशोदा को लाल। मेरो यशोदा को लाल मेरो यशोदा को लाल। मतवारी प्यारी चाल मेरो यशोदा को लाल। मतवारी प्यारी चाल मेरो यशोदा को लाल। राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे। थैंक यू। राधे राधे।
That was a very nice innovation as well. You could do Roop Dhyan along with your singing. So love that innovation around it. Thank you so much for that. You'll be a graduate very soon. Now you've started with bhajans also. So keep up all the good work. Wonderful. It's
Wonderful,
very
Sandhya
useful
ji.
now.
Wonderful.
Yes. Who's next then?
Urvi ji is next. Radhe
Urvi
Radhe,
ji.
Urvi ji. Please go ahead.
Okay, let me raise my hand as well. Yes, Urvi.
Yeah. Radhe Radhe, I'll be singing a bhajan from Siddhant Madhuri of Maharaj ji. Man ek din aisa aayega. I like it very much. Man ek din aisa aayega. Man ek din aisa aayega. जो मुट्ठी बांधे आया सो, जो मुट्ठी बांधे आया सो, हाथ पसारे जाएगा। मन हाथ पसारे जाएगा। मन एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। मन एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। चोरी चोरी भर रहूं करोड़न, अंत कफन संग पाएगा। मन अंत कफन संग पाएगा। मन एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। मन एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। जिनको कहत सपूत नहीं सो, जिनको कहत सपूत नहीं सो, अंत बास सर खाएगा। मन अंत बास सर खाएगा। मन एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। मन एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। जब यम काल दंड ले आई है, देखी देखी डर पाएगा। मन देखी देखी डर पाएगा। मन एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। मन एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। तब कृपालु धरि हाथ माथ पर, मन ही मन ही मन पछताएगा, मन एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, मन एक दिन ऐसा आएगा.
Thank you, Urvi. Wonderful. Siddhant Madhuri. It's a very hard-hitting bhajan. In order to develop vairagya to this world, if you go through the lyrics, it is a very, very hard-hitting bhajan, right? Putra kalatra. It says all the son, wife, all the things that you talk about, everything you have to leave behind. And the person you say putra, once you go, he'll only hit the bamboo on your head, right? That's what happens in your final picture. It's a very hard-hitting one. So thank you so much, Urvi, for bringing it. And looks like you have it memorized as well. You're just closing your eyes and getting into that zone. Well done. Thank you so much, Urvi. Loved it. All right. How many hands do we have? Real quick.
We have a couple of hands, yeah. So, Payalji, keep your hand raised. We'll save you for the last.
Cherry on the cake.
Yes.
Payalji.
Yeah. And then, how about Nitinji? You go next.
No, I'm not going next. Okay.
Okay, then Rahulji.
I'll go after Rahulji.
Okay. Rahulji, Radhe Radhe, please go next.
Radhe Radhe. So this path is written and composed by our beloved Maharajji. ठुमक ठुमक नंदलाल चलन लागे, ठुमक ठुमक नंदलाल चलन लागे, ठड़े होठ पग द्वैक चलत पुनि, ठड़े होठ पग द्वैक चलत पुनि, गिरी गिरी परत गोपाल, गिरी गिरी परत गोपाल, ठुमकी ठुमकी नंदलाल चलन लागे, ठुमकी ठुमकी नंदलाल चलन लागे. राधे राधे. जय श्री कृष्ण.
Very nice, Rahul. I think there was a similar Leela for Ram Bhagwan as well, right? When he was born. There are so many parallels basically between both the births, including the Shiv Bhagwan when he comes to meet, right? That's also beautiful. Maybe in one of the sessions we'll bring that Leela as well. So thank you so much for the beautiful rendition of our little Kanhaiya. All right, I'll take a little one then in between, or do we have, or shall I take? Okay, let me take then.
Yes, Nitinji, please go next.
I'll just sing a few lines, okay? That is for Radharani. कृपा करु बरसाने वारी, तेरी कृपा का भरोसा भारी, कृपा करु बरसाने वारी, तेरी कृपा का भरोसा भारी, तेरा मन है कृपा का प्यारी, तेरा तन है कृपा का प्यारी, तेरा तन है कृपा का प्यारी, कृपा करु बरसाने वारी, तेरी कृपा का भरोसा भारी, तेरी कृपा तो कृपा है प्यारी, तेरा कोप भी कृपा है प्यारी, तेरा कोप भी कृपा है प्यारी, हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल, कृपा करु बरसाने वारी, Kripa ka bharosa bhari. All right. Thank you very much. Who's next?
Awesome. Awesome. Wow. Very melodious, very pious, Nitinji. Very beautifully rendered bhajan. Thank you so much.
All right. We have a few more hands. So let's take.
Yeah. We can take Sudhakar ji, Padma ji, and then Payal ji.
Yes.
Oh, I see a couple of more hands. Sorry,
Okay.
I missed.
So that's limited to 2
Sorry, I missed Shyamji, Lakshmi ji, Ashutosh ji. Oh,
So we'll have to
suddenly.
limit it to 2 minutes. That way we can cover
Yes.
all, because otherwise it will be super late for Pallavi ji with the enthusiasm that we have. Otherwise we'll continue. Anyway, this bhajan is going to be a regular addition or a feature of our thing. And the way we'll moderate is, by the way, we are going to break out now until 29th because of Janmashtami and LTP followed by LTP. So we will take registrations and pick up 4 people so that we are moderating it and people are prepared for it and everybody gets a chance. So that's how we will include it in our future segments. The 1 day prior, you will fill out the feedback tracker, express your interest, and then we'll pick up 4 participants every session and we'll rotate based on, who all are interested. Let's take now 2 minutes each. Next stand. Yeah, 2 minutes each.
Yes.
If you have a long bhajan, just keep it for a few lines so that we are able to complete it in 2 minutes. Okay. Pallavi ji, you can call.
Yes, Sudhakar ji, I have unmuted
Sudhakar.
you. Please go ahead. I have already unmuted Sudhakar ji. So
Radha
Okay,
Radha.
yeah, Payal ji, you can take next. Yeah.
नंद नंदन बनवारी की जय जय, श्री वृषभान दुलारी की जय जय। नंद नंदन बनवारी की जय जय, श्री वृषभान दुलारी की जय जय। नटखट नंद कुमार की जय जय, भोरी बानु दुलारी की जय जय। नटखट नंद कुमार की जय जय, भोरी बानु दुलारी की जय जय। नंद नंदन नंद नंदन बनवारी की जय जय, श्री वृषभानु दुलारी की जय जय। यशोमती अजर बिहार की जय जय, कीर्ति कर उज्जैन की जय जय। यशोमती अजर बिहार की जय जय, कीर्ति कर उज्जैन की जय जय। नंद नंदन नंद नंदन बनवारी की जय जय, श्री वृषभानु दुलारी की जय जय। मोहन मदन मुरारी की जय जय, मोहन मदन मुरारी की जय जय। निज छवि लखी बलिहारी की जय जय। नंद नंदन नंद नंदन बनवारी की जय जय, श्री वृषभानु दुलारी की जय जय। Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sudhakar ji. And
Thank you, Sudhakar ji.
you are joining us from Zimbabwe, right?
No, actually, I'm joining from Saudi.
Oh, Saudi, yes. So
Because of the time limitations, I cut short the other 3. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Sudhakar ji. So can you believe this bhajan, Krishna bhajan, is being recited in Saudi Arabia as well? So that tells you how popular our Lord Krishna is, all the way from Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much, Sudhakar ji.
From India, but I'm just working.
Looks like you've been hearing a lot of bhajans of late, Maharaj ji, and your enthusiasm is palpable for sure. So thank you again so much for that. And
I'm learning the bhajans actually. I'm learning the kirtans on the GK Yoga other session.
Wonderful.
So I'm just rehearsing it. Maybe I don't know. I know my voice is not melodious, but
no worries. Your bhavs are there. Voice will align after a while. So start off with the bhavs, and then voice will start cooperating as well.
Yeah,
so,
I really don't care for the voice, but I care for the bhav. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Yeah.
Pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much, Sudhakar ji. Okay, let's move on.
Sudhakar ji, beautifully rendered. Payal ji is traveling. That's why she requested to take her next.
Sure, Payal ji. That's the spirit. You're traveling and singing as well. So please go ahead.
Yes, Payalji.
Yeah,
Floor
thank
is
you.
all yours. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Nitinji and Pallaviji. Actually, I'm traveling for past 2 days and weather is really bad. I don't know whether my throat cooperates today. I'll just sing 4 lines. That's it. Thank you. कदम्ब की डारी झूले राधा प्यारी, कदम्ब की डारी झूले राधा प्यारी, झूले राधा प्यारी झूलावे बनवारी, झूले राधा प्यारी झूलावे बनवारी, झूलावे बनवारी, झूलावे बनवारी, ओ कदम्ब की डारी झूले राधा प्यारी, कदम्ब की डारी झूले राधा प्यारी, गावे ब्रज नारी दे कर तारी, गावे ब्रज नारी दे कर तारी, कुंज बिहारी बोले बोले बलिहारी, कुंज बिहारी बोले बोले बलिहारी, कदम्ब की डारी झूले राधा प्यारी, कदम्ब की डाली झूले राधा प्यारी, झूले राधा प्यारी झूलावे बनहारी, झूले राधा प्यारी झूलावे बनवारी. राधे राधे. Thank you.
अब हूँ मुरारी झोटा दे भारी. Loved it. Very nice. It's one of the most beautiful bhajans. You know, you can do a
By
group
Swamiji. Yes.
dhyan on that, right? Beautiful. Thank you so much, Payalji. And Samji said she has fainted in anticipation of your bhajan already. So I don't know if she's still conscious or she's already fainted. So thank you so much. I know you're traveling, so safe travels and enjoy your trip. And pleasure to hear you always.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Radhe
Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe.
So we can take the last 4 hands real quick and then
Padmaji, Radhe Radhe. Thank you for
Radhe
waiting.
Padmaji.
Please go ahead, Padmaji.
Radhe Radhe. It's Telugu, but I'll just give one sentence summary and just immerse in that thought that we are surrendering at the lotus feet of God. Just your fears, emotions, bhav, everything, just to pour it out through your tears and let the tears pour at lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So through tears, you are showing your devotion at his lotus feet. So there's nothing more blissful than that. So just get that picture, and I that's how I see it. Shrimanarayana, 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 Shrimanarayanati, Shripadame Sharanu, Sharanu, Kamalasati Mukha, Kamalasati Mukha, Kamalahita, Kamala Priya, Kamalekshana, Kamalasana-hita, Kamalasana-hita, Garuda-gamana Shri, Kamalanavane, Pada-kamalame Sharanu, Sharanu. Srimanarayana, Srimanarayana, Srimanarayanati, Shripadame Sharanu, Sharanu. Paramayogi Jana, Bhagadeya Shri Purusha, Parat Para, Paramayogi Bhagadeya Shri Parama Purusha Parat Para Paramatma Para. I'm stopping here because my 2 minutes timer rang. I want other people to give the opportunity. I just put a
That's
timer.
very nice, Padma.
Beautifully singing.
We can have you complete it in one of our other sessions. So very nice, beautiful. The bhavs are palpable, and I think that's where even whether we understand the language or not, the bhav conveys the message around it. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. All
Thank
right.
you, Balaji. Yes.
Real quick now, Pallavi ji,
Santosh ji,
time.
Radhe Radhe.
I don't want to stretch you more than I know it's very late for you. So you think we have time? Or
Yes, definitely. 2 minutes each, definitely. Ashutosh ji, please go. Yeah.
do that.
Okay. Since Suruji sang, so I remember of this song, means bhajan. I listened 2 days before only. I say just 4 lines. तू मन मन मानी त्याग रे, तू मन मन मानी त्याग रे, बीते जन्म अनंत नींद महा, अब झटपट उठ जाग रे, उठ जाग रे, उठ जाग रे। पुत्र कलत्र मित्र आदि के जय, पुत्र कलत्र मित्र आदि की जय, तिन करु द्वेष न राग रे, उठ जाग रे, उठ जाग रे। नंद नंदन पादार विंद ते, करिले अब अनुराग रे, मन करिले अब अनुराग रे। तजिदे इंद्रिय विषय वासना, तजिदे इंद्रिय विषय वासना, प्रेम सरस रस पागरे, रस पागरे, रस पागरे। जो कृपालु चाह भुक्ति मुक्ति तो, जो कृपालु चाह भुक्ति मुक्ति तो, लगे प्रेम पट दाग रे, उठ जाग रे, मन जाग रे, तू मन मन मानी त्याग रे। Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice, Ashutosh ji, to man mani tyagre for mind. Beautiful bhajan. Maharaj ji has just given us so many tools. If you simply contemplate on some of these bhajans, it will give you detachment from the world. So much of Tattva Gyan is there, right? Putra Kalatra that he's talking about. Putra is son, Kalatra is wife, by the way. He said no dvesh and rag in anybody in this world, and simply develop your attachment to the lotus feet of God. That's essentially the gist of this bhajan. Beautiful. All right, let's
very deep.
take.
Yes. Shamji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Shamji.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe bhai.
Radhe Radhe.
I saw you in the morning and you inspired me to wear this jacket. So I was all decked up seeing you. Thank you so much.
When did I wear jacket? Okay. Did I wear jacket today?
So this your kurta of yours. So
okay.
It really inspired me. So I really got into this jacket mode. Thank you so much for this.
Okay.
And since everybody is singing so nicely, bhajans of Maharaji, I have no clue of Maharaji bhajans. I'll search online and start singing those. In the meantime, I have this song from Swamiji, which was recorded last year. I'll try this. Sisha, one second. I'll just try this song once. Jhoom jhoom jaye jiya, झूम झूम जाए जिया, झूम झूम जाए जिया, ऐसी झुद लागी रे, झूम झूम जाए जिया, ऐसी धुंध जागी रे, ऐसी शाम तेरी लगन लागी 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 रे, मन दूध गली दूध लागी रे, तुझे ढूंढू गली गली, तेरी सुध लागी रे, ऐसी शाम तेरी लगन 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 लागी रे. राधे राधे.
Beautiful, Shyamji. There was a movie, right? Karthik calling Karthik. You are Shyamji calling Shyam. So very nice.
That's all I will do nowadays. Just call him, call him, call him. Maybe, I know not, maybe he will come one day for sure.
He has no choice but to come, okay, for once we call him with devotion. So that is
Do
all.
that, yeah.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. And yes, you can start finding out and, picking up some of the Maharajji's bhajans as well. They are delightful, soulful, full of knowledge
Yeah.
and whatnot. So
I know. Today I could sense that, yeah.
beautiful. Okay,
Thank
last two hands, real quick. We can take
Yes.
that and free up Pallavi ji.
Thank you, Shyamji. Radhe Radhe, Lakshmi ji.
Yeah, awesome. All was singing very beautiful. So I thought 4 lines I learned yesterday. So I just want to sing that. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram Ramanarayanam Janaki Vallabham. Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram Ramanarayanam Janaki Vallabham. कोई कहता है भगवान आते नहीं, कोई कहता है भगवान आते नहीं, आप मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणम जानकी वल्लभम. कोई कहता है भगवान गाते नहीं, कोई कहता है भगवान खाते नहीं, बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं, बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम रामनारायणम जानकी वल्लभम. Jai Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you,
It
Lakshmi.
is the first time I'm singing.
I know you were a
Thank
little
you.
nervous, but yes, you did it
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
well. And I think we can make a resolve this Janmashtami to listen to more Krishna bhajans and memorize more of them and bring it to our session and keep on reciting. One of the signs of progressing in spiritual path is having more attraction towards bhajan and less towards Bollywood music. It will start happening as well, okay? But yeah, even Bollywood music, there are so many soulful renditions. You can also think about Krishna for them as well. So, but very nice. You picked up a new bhajan and you were able to, recite it
Yeah,
here.
thank
So
you,
thank you,
Lakshmi
Lakshmi
ji.
ji. Pleasure.
Yeah, Manish ji, last but not the
Yes,
least.
Manishi, last but not the least.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. I'll just take 30 seconds. I love the beginning of this bhajan, Amira's bhajan, so I'm just going to do the beginning portion. Hey आँख वो जो शाम का दर्शन किया करे, है शीश जो प्रभु चरण में वंदन किया करे. बेकार वो मुख है, बेकार वो मुख है जो रहे व्यर्थ बातों में, मुख वो है जो हरि नाम का करे. हीरे मोती से नहीं शोभा है हाथ की, है हाथ जो भगवान का पूजन किया करे. मर कर भी अमर नाम है उस जीव का जग में, प्रभु प्रेम में बलिदान जो जीवन किया करे. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Manishi. It's a beautiful bhajan, I know, from Anup Chilota. Very, very good rendition. Wonderful. So with that, we come to the end of our Janmashtami special series. Hope we have picked up some more devotion and some more Tattva Gyan along the way. I just want to leave you with this couple of lines from Radhe Govind Geet, one of my favorites. You can remind yourself through the weekend and for the next week. It says, सोचना ही साधना है, गोविंद राधे। बार बार सोचना ये उनसे मिला दे। राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे। राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे. So we have to think that we have to meet them and keep on thinking that that is sadhana. I just love this line. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation and for all of your melodious renditions. I couldn't have hoped for a better start to Janmashtami, and such diverse bhajans. So many people came forward, turned on their cameras and poured their souls and hearts out. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Hope you enjoyed the bliss. I definitely did. And we are going to have a bit of a break now. I'm definitely going to miss these sessions, but we have a lot coming up over the next few days. So stay inspired, stay blessed. I'll keep feeding some of the videos in between, and our team is creative enough to keep you engaged with interesting posts and stuff like that. So do look forward to that. And we will see you on with a bit of a gap. I think it's probably going to start on a 29th, I believe. Yes, 29th is when we are going to
29th.
Yes. So stay and do participate in all the events. Janmashtami that is coming up. You can do impromptu singing as well when you show up, right? I think Saturday and Sunday they're going to be online events. So I look forward to seeing you there because I'll be attending those events as well. And if you have not signed up for retreat, please do so. And online option is anyways there. So stay safe, stay blessed, and thank you again, everybody. Radhe Radhe.
So entire next week classes won't be there, Nitinji, right?
Right. Yeah. LTP is going to take place. Yeah.
So just to add, yeah, there is live transformation program. So whoever can attend, please make best use of this opportunity. After Janmashtami, we have the Science of Happiness live transformation program. Yeah.
Life transformation will really transform your life. Okay. And there is a money back guarantee if it doesn't. Okay. So let me put my word out to say if you attend it for a week, something will change. They are so impactful, so powerful. I don't know if they are offered online or not, but if you are in Dallas, you can't afford to miss it. And if you are in Dallas or within the parameter of Dallas, Austin, New Orleans, wherever, come for retreat. You can't afford to miss out on that. All right. That's all I
Thank you,
have.
Nitinji, for another awesome session. And this is like, awesome is not the word, it's a blissful, divine, mesmerizing session. Thank you, everyone. Have very happy, blissful, and blessed day, and happy Janmashtami.
Happy Janmashtami. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe.
Good day.